All right, let's do some predictions. Get your pens and paper out, ladies and gentlemen. Make your bets.
Oh, 1 second here, because I got the old list of matches. How many more were added tonight again?
I believe 2.
Okay.
Officially.
Just making sure.
I think we have 10 tonight. I think 10 is where we sit again. Then we still have Collision
10.
to go, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will start with. It's right here. I'll start with the 2 that are added tonight. Let's start with the Bang Bang Gang versus Poker Pack, Penta and Ray Phoenix. Flobo, who do you got winning this one?
As much as it pains me to say, I do think the Gun Club rolls over this one. They get the dub. I like Death Triangle, and they look good on a poster. They look good on the milk carton, but when it comes to the matches that count, they always come up short.
Jimmy, are the Unified Trio champions retaining their title?
I would like to see a title change here. I really would, because I like the, look, Jay White is destined to be a babyface sooner or later. People are on board with him again. They're liking what he's doing, so maybe he's one who costs the championship, or if one of the other guys. I'm going to go with Pac and Crew.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to say Jay White and the Guns retain. I don't see a title change happening here. Again, it goes against my appreciation for Penta, but I'm going to say that they hold on to this. All right, FTW World Championship, Jericho versus Shibata versus Hook. Jimmy, do we get a title change? Does Jericho drop this FTW title?
No, I don't think so. I think Big Bill is going to help him retain, and the learning tree continues to rule.
Flobo, do you agree?
With the man himself, this thing only works if FTW Championship does not change hands.
I agree with that, and I think Jericho pins Shibata. I think Hook will be spared. I don't think we've seen the last of Hook. I still actually think, too, we'll get Taz a little involved. I know physically he's limited, but I still feel like it's his title. It's his son. He's sitting at ringside.
For the world.
This it's kind of awkward if he doesn't do something eventually here. It's kind of like, do you care about your kid? You're the one that got him into this. All right, Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. Once best friends, no more. Flobo.
As much as I want Trent Beretta's time in the sun, it has to be Orange Cassidy. He's gonna open the whole pay-per-view. Like he opens up every episode of Dynamite.
Jimmy, I got Orange Cassidy here. You?
Both of you, I'm going off the board. I'm going Trent Beretta because I like where he's going. I like the direction he's taken. He's showing something that really resonates in a heel fashion, and I like that. And Orange Cassidy doesn't need the dub. He's over. He doesn't need it. Continue this. Don't blow this feud off yet.
All right. The IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. So a match to beat the champion, to then later take on the champion. Champion John Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita.
What?
Jimmy.
What? Why?
I was looking at my note. What did you do? I was looking at my notes.
Jimmy was like, oh, well, this match.
No, it's not the match itself. I'm looking forward to the match. It's just that you have to beat the champion to get a shot at the champion.
Yeah, eliminate
that
man.
just makes no sense to me. I hate non-title matches, and I hate matches where the stipulation. It just drives me insane. It makes no sense to me.
So who's winning? Who's winning?
Fair enough.
What?
Who's winning?
Hopefully Mox.
So Takeshita doesn't even get a shot later on?
No. Well, in that case, if you're going to have that stipulation added to it, then you can have Okay, you changed my mind.
Well,
because he doesn't lose the title, so in that case,
right. So, but my thought, Flobo, tell me if you agree, is Moxley can lose this match. And you have Don Callis out there, so you can have funny business. Moxley can lose this match, but he doesn't lose the title. And obviously, it's a New Japan title, so New Japan obviously is going to have input on the finish to this. Moxley can lose a match, doesn't lose the title. I don't think they would have this match if they didn't plan on having Takeshita challenge for this title later on. And then it might happen on New Japan time, might not happen on AEW show, but it's like, why have this? Again, you already have enough going on. Why have this match? And unless you are trying to position Takeshita, and maybe Takeshita challenges again, like they said tonight, for the title, but it's against somebody other than Moxley, 6 months down the road.
Yeah, 1,000%. This is a match for Moxley to lose to say, we're going to give you your receipt over in Japan. Oh, so I have Moxley losing.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So I think, all right, and then I think we convinced Jimmy. So we're all going to
you guys convinced me.
Very good. Very good. All right, AEW International Championship match. Roderick Strong holding that title up against the golden boy, the golden signing of AEW, Will Ospreay. I will start this one to say this just feels tailor-made for Will Ospreay to collect the first of what will probably be many titles in AEW. Flobo.
arguably my favorite looking title in all AEW. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that one as well. Ospreay has to win this one for sure.
Jimmy, any chance Roderick Strong, and he has the numbers, he has the undisputed there. Any chance Roderick Strong holds on to this?
I can't see Will Ospreay not winning this. It's the thing. And it's going to be a hell of a match because Roderick Strong is really showing that he belongs in the ring and he can go with someone like a Will Ospreay. And he's got that it factor, and it's no disrespect to him, but at this point, he's not that high up on the ladder for Will Ospreay to eat a loss here. Will Ospreay, when he eventually gets that L, it has to be a big, big deal.
You know what I feel like with Will Ospreay? Excuse me. I feel like Will Ospreay, I think he's going to take this title, this international title Sunday. I feel like he's going to go on a run where he's going to have this title, he's going to defend it, and et cetera, et cetera. And then he's going to go after either the TNT title or the AEW World title. Like, I feel like he's going to become like a belt collector. I feel like they're going to try to like make this the year of Ospreay in AEW.
Interesting.
I have that feeling that Tony's just getting ready for Will Ospreay to be decorated in gold.
So no unifications. We'll never want to get one of those. But
no unification. No, I feel like he's going to be holding this international title, and we've seen the international title. They'll let that be defended else places. So he'll pop up somewhere else and defend that. But I could see him by Wembley. He's British, correct? He's from London, right? I could see him being in Wembley challenging whoever's the AEW World Champion at that point.
Barry Landstorm.
Hey, holding several titles is a hell of a grind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, look at
the boss's daughter.
Oh, don't get me started on that. All right. AEW Women's World Championship match. Champion Timeless Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. Jimmy, any chance Serena Deeb dethrones Toni Storm, or is it? Well, how's it go? Chins, tits. What is it? I forget what it is. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's chins, tits, and something.
There's always a chance, but I pray that it's not. I'm pulling for Toni Storm. I'm actually rooting that she retains.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, you know what? In that case, I got Serena Deeb by small package just to spite you.
By small package.
Just to do it.
What a slap to Jimmy's fandom.
Look, I like Serena Deeb.
I was in the pool.
Serena Deeb hasn't done a small package since OVW, and Flobo's got her dethroning the champion just to screw with Jimmy.
That's what I'm talking about. I just imagine Toni Storm should win this one, but I imagine her being disgraced or besmirched or being like, oh no, I lost my gold. I see that happening in the next chapter for Toni.
Sonny in the chat says Britt Baker returns to help Serena.
Oh,
I don't see why she would help Serena, but I think there would be a lot more money and she resurfaces and makes known to Toni, hey, I'm back and I'm coming for you. Or there's another women's match. Maybe she resurfaces there. Let's go to that one. TBS Championship match. Willow Nightingale, your champion, who I liken to kind of like a Mick Foley in a sense of like the organic aspect that she's just kind of came a little bit out of nowhere and has got the admiration of the fans, got the appreciation, but she's also showed that she can kick it into a gear. She can get serious when it's time to get serious. Up against the big investment, the new signee, having her first match in AEW after 2 months of being on TV, Mercedes Moné. Now, Flobo, I'm going to go to you first because you kind of tease that you want to talk about this a little bit, and I feel like you and I are on the same wavelength, but I want to let you speak first. Thoughts on Mercedes, thoughts on the build, prediction on the finish.
I don't knock AEW signing Mercedes, the hottest women's free agent for a long time, WrestleMania main eventer, has all the accolades. But once she got signed to AEW, and I'm not blaming AEW, I'm not blaming Mercedes, I'm just blaming the mixture in the pot. It didn't hit quite the same. I'm not really sure what CEO means in this context. I felt there was a bit of a time where it was kind of like, I'm the CEO. But at the same time, Willow Nightingale was somebody who was always in the background, always having these matches, doing these 3-minute, 9:30 p.m. matches, doing collisions, doing rampages. And she finally got a microphone and said, look, I've been grinding for my division. You're telling me that I have an opportunity to be your torchbearer. I'm already on board. Now, Mercedes Moné has an opportunity to really sway it the other way, but I don't see it, man. These promos are just on point for Willow Nightingale.
Well, let me stick with you here for a second. Because I'm of the belief that I understood they tried to make a big deal about her in Boston, but it's not like Mercedes Moné the person or the characters that connect. Like, she's from Boston. She came up in the New England indie scene. It's not like she's CM Punk with Chicago, where CM stands for Chicago Made, and he wears the Chicago flag on the trunks. It's not. I didn't feel, if she wasn't cleared, I didn't feel that it was worth putting her on TV and announcing that she's with AEW in March, and then having her be on TV for 2 months to build this first match. I felt like this has not done her any favors. And I also feel like it's deviated from what we saw of success with her as Sasha Banks, which is cut a promo for 2 or 3 weeks. Then she delivers in a match and shows you why she's one of the best women in the world.
Absolutely.
This has been cut the same promo for 2 months. Oh, by the way, cut the same promo against 2 months, not against some whomever, against a organic rising baby face in Willow. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think this has done any favors to Mercedes Moné. I feel like there is a crazy high expectation that she's going to have to hit to kind of do away with the last 2 months.
Yeah, I'm with you. And this is what happens to a lot of bookers in wrestling. And again, I have very small experience working in professional wrestling on the creative side, but you have something that works like gangbusters and you want to revive it. So CM Punk, perfect example. He was a pariah. He was out in wrestling for 6 or 7 years, Chicago made, he comes back, it works. You do the same thing in Boston, doesn't quite hit the same. But the thing about Sasha Banks in WWE was, when the bell rang, she could go, and you did not give it to us, whether by injury or by time. There was never an opportunity to see 10 or 15 or 20 minutes of her in the ring. So you basically have to go on memory from another promotion or two to really graft into this one, whereas Willow has been working every other week. So it's not really a fair build, and to give it to her all the credit in the world, Willow Nightingale's promo skills have increased tenfold. I got to give it to her, man.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, Flobo, final call. Willow or Mercedes, who's winning?
Mercedes has to win this one, but it's going to hurt my heart, man.
Okay. Jimmy, having heard all that we just said, where do you stand with this match, and particularly Mercedes Moné, this being her first match?
I agree with you guys. I think at this point she is destined to win this championship, but at the same time, like you guys said, Willow has this organic likability. And she's showing that, and the fans have gravitated towards her. It's sad, because here's someone again who has put in the time and put in the reps and developed herself, made herself that person that the fans are loving and enjoying right now. So it's kind of sad. I'm almost sad to say that I think that Mercedes is coming out with a championship, because I'm again, no disrespect to her, but I'm disappointed with how she's been presented and how she is coming across, because she doesn't feel organic even when she's on the mic.
Yeah, I feel bad for the expectation that has been put in this match, because I feel like this could be a make or break, with emphasis on break. If this match doesn't just, if this isn't again the match of the night to the fan, like this, I don't know. I feel like this has just been a weird build. I don't understand. I don't understand why it's been this way, but I think Mercedes also will win, needs to win. Hopefully Willow won't be pushed to the back of the line. I don't believe in the sports aspect of it, where it's like the standings aspect, where it's okay if you lose, you're back of the line. No, if you're over, you stay on TV. I'm not saying she needs to challenge Mercedes for the next couple pay-per-views for the title, but she needs to stay on TV if she's over. AEW's had a consistent problem across the board of following through with baby faces.
Mm-hmm.
The baby face they follow through the most with is MJF, and he wasn't even supposed to be a baby face. So figure that the F out. So don't victimize Willow here. If she's going to lose, she's going to lose, because Mercedes is your multi-million-dollar investment. I get it. Don't push Willow to the back of the line.
Right.
Don't do it. All right. Let's get into what I believe now. It leaves the three main events that they are advertising here. So let's go to the TNT Championship barbed wire steel cage match. Champion Adam Copeland up against Malachi Black. Jimmy, I'll toss to you first as the Canadian, and considering Adam Copeland wrote the foreword of your book, I feel like that gives you right away to talk first on this one.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
This one is a tough one for me to because I like where Malachi Black is coming from. I like his presentation, his character. I've always said he had that aspect of it and could go far with that. And maybe it's time for, no disrespect to my good buddy, my long-time close personal friend, Adam Copeland, a.k.a. Edge, but I'm going to go Malachi Black with this one. He's going to take Edge, and he's going to take him to that dark place that he used to be in, unless we talked about Gangrel earlier, that would be a nice touch to it. But what if Gangrel were to come back and look like he's reuniting with Edge, and he were to be the dagger in the back of Adam Copeland?
All right, Flobo, what are your thoughts to that one?
Does Gangrel have his rights, or is he Vampire Warrior still? That's not the point. I'm a big Adam Copeland hater because he's blocked me on Twitter, so I'm going Malachi Black as well.
What did you say on Twitter?
I have no idea. One day I looked and he wasn't there, and he blocked me. I have no idea. So,
all right, I'm gonna say, all right. So Jimmy's going Black, Malachi Black. Flobo, you're going.
Oh, Malachi as well.
Malachi as well because you're hating on Copeland. I'm gonna say Copeland retains this title. I love what Malachi Black is doing, but I feel like Copeland's still Copeland. I also wonder how long is Black sticking around in AEW for, hearing some things floating around there. But I think Copeland retains. I do wonder, though, and we'll get to Christian here in a few moments. I do wonder. I can't imagine Tony Khan would not cash in on this if you had both of them. All right, you had Christian versus Adam Copeland. I'd have to imagine you got Wembley coming. You got some big shows coming later this year. If you're Tony Khan, you're a fan like Tony Khan is. If you got them both in your roster, you're gonna put together Copeland and Christian, right, for one more little run, at least for a big show.
How does that work?
Well, you have to obviously maneuver. Obviously, Christian needs to stop being, bad guy. But I mean, I gotta, I don't know. That's something I'm thinking. That's got to happen here. You can't have those two guys on your roster.
I agree, but how is it done?
There's a way to do it. I don't know what exactly it is, but we saw Edge and Christian here in my hometown have that all-out brawl, including a hockey brawl in the bench area with the hockey sweaters. We don't call them jerseys; we call them sweaters up here. And hey, maybe they do get together and have some kind of TLC type match one last time. Who knows?
Can I say, Jimmy, I love the fact you're so unapologetically Canadian. We call them sweaters up here. You better back off, Yank. No, I'm just
I mean, they do call them sweaters. It's not wrong.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I get it.
Yeah. Canadians are doing pretty well. Not the Montreal Canadiens, but Canadians in general are doing pretty well in the playoffs.
Well, not the Maple Leafs either, but that's a.
No, but hey, out west in Western Canada, things are going pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
First time in a long time. All right, AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland up against the aforementioned Christian Cage. Flobo, we've all agreed Swerve has not been booked the best. Is he going to get the win here?
I won't say he has to, because I've been let down before, but I would like him to, and that's my prediction. Swerve does retain here, because even though I love Christian, I profuse my love for Christian for the past hour and 15 minutes. He doesn't need that title. He's good as it is right now. Swerve needs some stability in his reign.
Jimmy, do you agree? Swerve needs this win.
He absolutely does, because like we've talked about earlier, the booking that they have for Swerve since he's won the championship has been baffling. So he does need this win, and he has to be convincing even with outside interference, whatever the case may be. He's got to overcome it all and just come out victorious.
So that's interesting you mentioned that, Jimmy, because obviously Swerve, he doesn't have his mogul embassy guys. All he has that we know of is Prince Nana.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got numbers against him with Christian and with Nick Wayne and Killswitch and Mother Wayne. I mean, yeah. How do you book this? How does he neutralize all of these factors?
There's a way to do it with the proverbial referee distractions, whatever the case may be. But when
because sorry to cut you off, but I want to ask you because AEW refs, they don't ever do the whole "you're out of here." They don't ever dismiss anybody.
Good point.
No, and it happens all the time. Where they do interfere, it happens far too often, because when they do it now, it's comical, because in my opinion, the heat goes to the wrong guy. It doesn't go to the heel, it goes to the referees. But there's a way to do it where even when they do distract the referee, he still overcomes that and comes out looking super strong and looking like the guy that could be that champion that they want, the guy that looks like he can carry that title big time. And, especially when you got a guy like Killswitch trying to interfere.
Yeah.
He takes care of business with him, and then he takes out Christian afterwards. Then next Dynamite, next Wednesday, have him come out and just flaunt the fact that he beat three guys. Three guys couldn't take him out. Show me somebody in that locker room who can.
Yeah. So out of the 3 main events, this being one of them, I'll be interested to see how this is booked and goes off, because this is the straight match, because you have the other 2, which one we just talked about, the barbed wire steel cage match. So a very gimmick match there. And then the one we're getting ready to talk about here in a moment, the Anarchy in the Arena, which is just going to be just a giant schmoz across the entire place. So I'll be curious, do they keep this match in the ring with Swerve and Christian? Do they keep it the most traditional, or do we get all kinds of, just bedlam, to finish this? So I'll be really watching this. I'm going to say Swerve as well, both out of what I think is logical. I can't imagine they're going to have Swerve drop it this. If he beats Samoa Joe, excuse me, for the title, I can't imagine dropping it this quickly.
No.
If he's not injured, why would you have him drop it? So I'm going to go Swerve, but very curious to how it's going to go off. All right, which brings us to our final match. Anarchy in the Arena, the Elite, which is the Young Bucks, Okada and Jack Perry versus FTR, if they make it, Bryan Danielson and Darby Allin. Jimmy Korderas and Tony Khan, I got to imagine, maybe can make an appearance. And this is the fight for the evil EVPs up against people that care the most about AEW and Danielson, FTR, and Darby. What do you got for this? Again, I assume this is what ends the night. I can't imagine they could top this.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because this feud has gone rapidly. They could have stretched this out for months and make this thing really, really mean something. But they're having, it almost feels like a blow-off match at the end of the feud. And I think that
worries me.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah. Because like I said, this thing had legs. This had legs to go on for a long time. Don't get me wrong. I love the Bucks in this EVP role, and they're telling everybody, hey, play the music. What are you doing? Tuck your shirt in, all that kind of stuff. Like acting, all like snotty bosses. And they're doing a good job at that. Okada, I like the silent type, but at the same time, I don't know if he fits that group anymore. Or it's almost time for him to move on as well and be the guy, the Rainmaker that we saw in Japan.
Well, I agree. I agree with that. The problem is, I think they're placeholding Okada in this group, whether he fits or not. They're placeholding him there until Kenny Omega's healthy, because they feel like, okay, that's the natural layup of how we make Okada versus Omega happen. But that might be, months until Kenny, hopefully by good grace is healthy enough.
Yeah,
but you're right. He kind of doesn't really. Okada doesn't really. He doesn't really fit this lineup of.
And these guys. That's what worries me, that he's going to lose steam with the audience because of it. So, it's dangerous territory, but I could see the EVPs and Okada and Jack Perry prevailing in this one in some form or fashion, regardless if Khan shows up or not.
Flobo, who do you have winning? And in addition to that, is this the end? Like, does Tony Khan, is he standing tall and there's a fireworks and confetti? Like, is this like basically the end, like this hot shot storyline that's got them a lot of attention, mind you, within the wrestling bubble of the world? We're talking about it. Is this the end, or do they find a way to like swerve, bro, and we can extend on through the summer? What do you think's happening here?
Well, I hate the fact you set the table like that, because now you got me doubting myself. Because I was going to say, no, the Elite has to win this one to stretch it out. But pay-per-views are so infrequent on AEW, and there really isn't a stipulation that's more intense than for blood and guts.
And real quick, and to your point, the next pay-per-view, I believe, is Forbidden Door, which in my mind evacuates any AEW storyline, because we're just doing dream matches of this person from this person, this company from this company. So it's like you take a month off of storylines, in my opinion.
Yeah, you would have to, like, I don't know. I mean, only blood and guts would be even that same realm. But the thing is, to your point, Okada, 5, 6, 7 years ago, he was like a legend. He was a myth. He was like Kenny Omega. He was like Sting. I'm not saying it's been disappointing, but he seems like just a guy. He seems like a heavy. I felt like another era, he would have been the guy that would have matches every 3 months or something. So I think Okada and his crew needs a win so they can have something to make them seem more formidable. But you're right. There is a desert of premium events. So I don't know. I'm like confused now. But you got to say, has to be a new prediction. I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to say the Elite win this one.
I'm going to go with it too. I don't know if I actually believe it, but that's what I want to have happen. I want the Elite, because again, I feel like Jimmy kind of worded it. They're blowing through this so fast. It's like, slow down. This could be 6 months more of programming if you really want to take your time. Like right now, we know the Bucks, Okada and Perry, they're running things off of the Bucks' power. Like here's a chance where somebody else could be on the power with them, or like they're I mean, I don't see FTR, Danielson, and Darby, but like somebody who we think's a good guy on Team AEW in the locker room could have been bought and been given a fat envelope the way Sonya Dutt was tonight. Like, does MJF reappear? Where does his allegiance stand if he's still under contract with the company? Like, I would like the Elite to win because I think for AEW's benefit, they have a lot more legs. If the good guys win, if FTR, Danielson, and Darby win, okay, what next? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So. What if one of the participants in the match itself is paid off?
Well, that's what I was kind of getting to, but I don't know who that would like unless that's explanation of why FTR wasn't there tonight. unless they got a direct deposit don't show up tonight.
Sorry, we're selling out right now. We can't show up.
Brian Danielson's too noble of a guy, and like Darby comes off as the kind of guy who like doesn't like count money. So I don't think that I don't know who you'd pay off.
Yeah.
Top guys paid.
Exactly. That would be the where it goes. All right, that is our AEW Double or Nothing predictions. Write them down, and you can tweet us all on Sunday night and about how wrong we were or how right we were. Just be consistent, okay? All right. If you're gonna tell me I was wrong on one, make sure you tell me I was right on the other one. Make sure you have a profile picture. If you don't have a profile picture, if I can't identify you in a crowd, don't tweet me.
Yeah,
if I can't point out stupid in a crowd, you don't get a response.
There you go. Right, I like it. And Justin's not afraid to tell anybody when he's woo.
All right, that's tonight. Again, reminder: we did our predictions tonight. This weekend, Saturday, after King and Queen of the Ring, Flobo Boyce and the immaculate head of hair that is Jack Farmer, they will be hosting a podcast here on Wrestling Inc. And then on Sunday, after Double or Nothing, Jack and Flobo again. So make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Inc. on whatever platform is your preference. Video if you want to see the radio stars, audio if you just want to hear us, whatever the situation is, we support it. Just subscribe.